Okay, so what am I doing next? Okay, so for language arts, we are doing Foundations C for my second grader. So that's the student workbook, the teacher's manual, and these are the readers that come with that. And so that's the first semester of language arts. And I have a video on this curriculum if you want to take a look. And then for the second semester, she's going to do Foundations D. That's the student workbook, the readers, and the teacher's manual. So that's language arts. Okay, so I have a couple of group things here in this pile that we're gonna do as a group. So my first grader, my second grader, and my my 4-year-old, so my pre-K 4-year-old, will probably do it too. To what extent, I'm not sure, but we will see. So we're gonna do the human body by The Good and the Beautiful. The part 1, I guess these are just, it's just a unit study, so it's not gonna take very long for us to go through this, but we're gonna do the human body. And I got the book pack for that. It's K through 3. But it was pretty reasonably inexpensive, and I wanted to get them just so I wouldn't forget later on to purchase them. Germs Make Me Sick. What Happens to a Hamburger. This is going to be cool because we've been doing our own experiments, and we haven't eaten fast food in, gosh, like over a year now, and it all started out with an experiment with a hamburger. We basically purchased it and we just kept it and observed it for the longest time to see how much decay, if at all, happened to the burger. And I don't know, pretty much for 6 months or more, there was nothing going on in that burger. And so this just kind of reminds me of that, what happens to a hamburger. So I'm sure this is like everything that happens in the mouth and digestion. But I thought it was pretty funny. And so we just have a saying in our house: if bacteria doesn't eat it, we're not gonna eat it. So this is gonna be cool. Why I Sneeze, Shiver, Hiccup, and Yawn. This is also a level 2. Okay. I don't know, there's so many people who have done reviews on this, so I'm just going to kind of flip through it. I binded everything when I went to Staples, and I know some of these have to get pulled out and stuff, and I'll just do that. You know, when I went there, I just dropped the whole book off, and I wasn't even thinking that I probably should go through it and take out all the things that I need to like laminate or something. But I'll figure something out. So these get cut out for our science wall and stuff. So this looks like fun. I liked that this science was just on the human body, because that's really interesting to us. And all my kids are so interested because they're always asking questions about, what does this do? What is that for? And, you know, they have that basic understanding, but I like that they'll be getting the scientific terms from this. So that's what we're doing for science for one of the semesters, but we're also doing another science. We are going to do the BJU Press Science 2. This is the 3rd edition for their science for 2nd grade. Last year we did Abeka. Excuse me. And I really liked using Abeka. It was easy to read, and we did a few of the experiments in there. But what I found looking through this is that it's so much easier to have something that's all incorporated. The teacher's manual, the reader, all the little activities that the kids get to do. I feel like this is more put together than Abeka was, and I don't have that much experience with Abeka, but what I have had was their history experience, their history and geography experience, and then their science. And I just didn't feel like it was cohesive, at least for me. I couldn't teach it the way I wanted to. But this looks different to me. This seems very easy to follow, and I can easily see how the lessons would play out, you know, day by day. So I like this, but this is the science reader, and I'll let everybody know how it goes when we actually do it. The reader reminds me of Abeka's reader, actually. So this is the science reader for the child. There's, this is the activity manual answer key, and this is the activity manual. So the children will just be doing different activities in here. So mostly my second grader will be doing this book. My first grader will do some of it depending on what she can do, what she feels like doing. And then my also my 4-year-old will do as much as he wants. But I won't bother printing out these worksheets for him. He's too young to be able to do most of that, what's in here. Just to give you an idea of what it looks like. So that's the activity manual. Then there's the activity manual answer key, which I really didn't need, but I didn't realize that until after the fact. So this just has all the answers to the activity manual. It wasn't that expensive, but still, if I had known that I can get all the answers from this, I would have probably just skipped that. So the Teacher's Edition has this Teacher's Toolkit in the back of the book, and it's a CD-ROM you put in, and you get all of your printables that you need and all the answers to the activities also. But I'll give you a little glimpse inside of the Teacher's Edition. So there's 12 chapters. Here's the introduction, here's the scope and sequence. I'm not going to go over all the scope and sequence right now, but if you pause the video, you can probably see everything that's laid out. There's some goals for science too. Develop a knowledge of God, encourage Christian growth, and promote scientific literacy. And this basically is all the materials that they have. I also have the tests. I'll just pull those out. I thought I did. Bear with me for 1 second. Science. Okay, here's science. So yeah, you have the science. I have the science tests too. And I don't know how much of this I'm going to actually be using, but I have them. And I think, yeah, the answer key for the tests. I will probably use this with my second grader on occasion. I don't know yet. So this is everything. I like that this lays out everything that's in the lesson, all the little things that you can look for and where to find them. And all the lessons are laid out in the same way. Just talks about how to teach a lesson, how the Bible's integrated, notebooking if you want to do it. This is good for what they're going to learn scientifically, and you can use that for a scope and sequence as well if you needed to. Assessments. There's all the chapters. So there is, I think, 80 lessons in this. So 12 chapters, and I'm just, oops, sorry about that. How many lessons? So 75 lessons. So here's an example of chapter 1. You have the objectives, the materials, the unit introduction, what you're going to say to the child, a book introduction. It just tells you how this book is set up. It's divided into 12 chapters, and it tells you there's logical progression both in the difficulty of the reading and in the reinforcement of concepts throughout the book. Use every opportunity that arises to help the student connect new information with the material he has already learned. All right, then you're just, this is very like basic. You're opening the book, it's telling you everything to do. So you can have a bulletin board if you want for all the places you're going to do the scientific, put the scientific information. Chapter introduction, chapter questions, chapter outline, and then you're on to lesson 2. So not very long lessons. And then this is lesson 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, this video is going so long. So anyway, I'm gonna just kind of briefly go through this just so you get an idea. The back here has the reproducibles. Yep. It also has a rubrics, which is basically an assessment guide so that you can assess like a scientific experiment that the child will do. I don't know if this is gonna make sense for us to use at home, but I can see how it works in a regular school setting. But I don't think we'll need it, but it's here just in case. So here's the reproducibles. They have cute little catchy songs for the circulatory system. Here there's a metamorphosis song. It's pretty cute. Magnetic song. So here's the rubrics. And if you needed to use one, you can just measure what they know. We won't be using that most likely. Okay, so that's it for that. Bible action truths in here. So this is the toolkit, and it just tells you what to do here. If you have Windows or Mac, how to print, and minimum system requirements. So that's what we're doing for science. Okay, I have one last thing, and I promise I'm done. Okay, so we're gonna also do BJU Press grade 2 for the heritage studies. So far I have the student textbook, and then I have the teacher's edition. I'm waiting on the student activity manual. So hopefully that'll be in soon. So this also reminds me of Abeka's Reader. But again, the same thing. I like this much better because of the way it's laid out. It helps the teacher really connect things easily. I just didn't find it was easy to teach Abeka at all. There was a lot of back and forth in the teacher's manual for Abeka, and I liked it. I made it work because I did like the material, but after looking at this, I like how this is laid out much better. Just my opinion. Okay. So there's 10 chapters here. So you have the materials here, the student text, the activity manual, and the teacher's edition. So the teacher's toolkit is going to have all that information that you need. There's also visuals on this toolkit as well, and it tells you here. It's located in the back of the book. It includes the activity manual's answer key and the visual maps, charts, timelines, and instructional aids and activities. And then I also have the tests. So here are the tests. They look pretty simple. And I will use these. That. And then just the answer key. That's all the answers in them. Sorry, I'm going to kind of fly through this one. Let's see here. So the chapters and lessons. I believe there is 80 lessons in this one, but there's actually 90 lessons and 10 chapters. So chapter 1, the introduction, the chapter focus. The Journey Forth is really cool. So Journey Forth is a publishing company that has all these books. I guess it's BJU Publishing Company. I couldn't figure out if they're like a separate entity, but they have really cool books. So this Journey Forth thing has all the additional readers that you can buy. So it's all laid out the same way. And not every chapter has that Journey Forth section. So let me see if I can find another one. Background. Okay, so here's another book. So it tells you The Case of the Dog-Napped Cat. I think I ordered those two books that I just mentioned. So anyway, this looks really fun. So it's a history, geography, and social studies, I believe. And so that is that. All right, so that is it for my second grader and a little bit of what we're doing as a group. Thank you so much for watching. I know this was long-winded and long, but I hope it was informative. If you have any questions about these particular books and curriculum, maybe I'll split this video into 2 parts. I'm not sure how that's going to work out, but we'll see. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.